What if I told you that something sitting in your kitchen right now, something simple, something you might already eat, could start lowering your blood pressure in as little as 2 weeks? No new pills, no extra doctor visits, no complicated routines. Here's what most people over 60 don't realize. Nearly 2 out of every 3 seniors in America are walking around with high blood pressure right now. And many of them have no idea. No headaches, no dizziness, nothing. That's why doctors call it the silent killer. It does its damage quietly, day after day, to your heart, your kidneys, your brain, and your eyes, until one day, it's too late. But here's the good news, and I mean genuinely good news. Science has proven over and over again that certain everyday foods can naturally bring those numbers down. Not by a tiny amount either. We're talking about real, measurable drops that could mean the difference between needing another medication and not needing one at all. So if you're over 60, or if you love someone who is, stay with me for the next few minutes. Because what you're about to learn could genuinely change your life or even save it. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, this is where we break down the most important health information for seniors and their families in a way that's simple, clear, and actually useful. No confusing medical jargon, no scare tactics. Just honest, practical advice you can use starting today. Now, before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, take a second right now and hit that subscribe button and tap the bell icon. We put out videos like this every single week specifically for seniors and the people who love them. And drop a comment below telling me, have you ever been told your blood pressure is too high? I read every single comment and I'd love to hear your story. All right, let's get into it. Today's topic is one of the most important ones we've ever covered, and that's blood pressure. Let me give you a number that should stop everyone in their tracks. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, high blood pressure contributes to nearly 500,000 deaths in the United States every single year. 500,000. That's more than most cancers. More than most diseases people worry about constantly. And here's the part that hits home for our community. After age 60, your blood vessels naturally become stiffer. They lose some of their flexibility. That means your heart has to pump harder to push blood through your body. So even if your blood pressure was fine at 40 or 50, things can change as you get older. Sometimes quickly. Now, medication absolutely has its place. If your doctor has prescribed blood pressure medication, please keep taking it. This video is not about replacing your doctor's advice. But what I'm going to show you today is how the right foods, simple, affordable, delicious foods, can work alongside your treatment plan to give your body the best possible chance at healthy blood pressure. Think of it this way. Medication is like having a good mechanic for your car. But the food you eat? That's the fuel you're putting in the tank. And if you put the right fuel in, everything runs better. So let's get into it. Here are 5 easy, doctor-backed ways that seniors can lower blood pressure with food. Number 1. And this is the one that surprises almost everyone. Start eating more potassium-rich foods. Now, you've probably heard your whole life that too much salt raises blood pressure. And that's absolutely true. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But what most people don't know is the other side of that equation. Potassium. Think of sodium. And potassium like two ends of a seesaw. When sodium goes up, your blood pressure tends to go up. But when potassium goes up, it actually helps your body flush out that extra sodium through your urine. It also helps relax the walls of your blood vessels, which takes pressure off your entire cardiovascular system. A major study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association found that increasing potassium intake was associated with significantly lower blood pressure, especially in people who were already consuming too much salt. And let's be honest, in America, that's most of us. So what foods are we talking about here? You don't need anything exotic or expensive. Bananas are the classic example. One medium banana gives you about 400 milligrams of potassium. But here's what most people don't realize, bananas aren't even the best source. Sweet potatoes. One medium baked sweet potato has over 500 milligrams of potassium. That's more than a banana. And they're delicious. Baked, mashed, however you like them. White beans. Just half a cup gives you nearly 600 milligrams. You can add them to soups, stews, or even salads. Plain yogurt is another great option. One cup can give you over 500 milligrams of potassium, plus you're getting calcium and probiotics for your gut health. And here's one more that people overlook: prunes. Yes, those prunes your grandmother always had in the cupboard. They're absolutely loaded with potassium. About 6 prunes give you close to 500 milligrams. Plus, they're great for digestion, which is another common concern for seniors. Now, I do want to mention one important thing. If you have kidney disease, you need to talk to your doctor before significantly increasing your potassium intake, because your kidneys may not be able to handle the extra load. But for most seniors, adding more potassium-rich foods is one of the smartest things you can do for your blood pressure. Let me ask you something. Are you getting enough potassium in your diet right now? Think about what you ate yesterday. If you can't name at least 2 or 3 potassium-rich foods, that's your sign to start making some small changes. Number 2. This one is a true hidden gem, and it's backed by some really impressive science. Start adding beets to your diet. Now I know, beets aren't everyone's favorite. Some people love them, some people haven't tried them since they were kids. But hear me out, because the research on beets and blood pressure is genuinely remarkable. Beets are rich in something called dietary nitrates. Now, before you worry about that word, these are completely natural compounds found in vegetables. They're not the same as the nitrates in processed meats. When you eat beets, your body converts those natural nitrates into something called nitric oxide. And nitric oxide is like a magic key for your blood vessels. It tells them to relax and widen. When your blood vessels relax and open up, blood flows more easily, less resistance, less pressure. Lower numbers on that blood pressure cuff. A study from Queen Mary University of London found that drinking just 1 cup of beetroot juice per day lowered blood pressure by an average of 8 points systolic, that's the top number, in just 4 weeks. 8 points. That's comparable to what some blood pressure medications achieve. 8 points might not sound like a lot, but in the world of blood pressure, that's enormous. Research suggests that even a 2-point drop in systolic blood pressure can reduce your risk of stroke by about 10%. Now, how can you add beets to your diet if you're not used to them? Roasted beets are wonderful. You just wash them, wrap them in foil, and bake them until they're tender. Slice them up, add a little olive oil and a squeeze of lemon. Absolutely delicious. Beetroot juice is another easy option. You can find it at most grocery stores now. Just make sure you're getting pure beet juice without a lot of added sugar. You can also grate raw beets into salads, add them to smoothies, or even buy pre-cooked beets that are ready to eat right out of the package. So convenient. One small heads up, beets can turn your urine and stool a reddish or pinkish color. Don't panic, it's completely harmless. It happens to everyone. But I mention it because I've had patients call me worried, thinking something was wrong. It's just the beets doing their thing. Number 3, and this one is so easy that there's really no excuse not to do it. Eat a handful of berries every single day. Blueberries, strawberries, raspberries, blackberries, all of them are packed with natural plant compounds called anthocyanins. Those are the pigments that give berries their beautiful deep colors. And these anthocyanins have been shown in study after study to support healthy blood pressure. One of the most impressive studies came from Harvard. Researchers followed over 34,000 people with high blood pressure and found that those who consumed the highest amounts of anthocyanins, primarily from blueberries and strawberries, had an 8% reduction in their risk of developing high blood pressure compared to those who consumed the least. Another study, published in the Journal of the Academy of Nutrition and Dietetics, found that eating about 1 cup of blueberries per day for 8 weeks led to measurable drops in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. The researchers attributed this to improved nitric oxide production, similar to what we talked about with beets, and reduced arterial stiffness. Reduced arterial stiffness. That's a big deal for seniors, because as I mentioned earlier, stiffening arteries are one of the main reasons blood pressure tends to creep up as we age. Berries may actually help counteract that process. And here's the beautiful thing. Berries are one of the most versatile, enjoyable foods on the planet. You can eat them fresh, you can eat them frozen, and frozen berries are just as nutritious as fresh ones, and they're often more affordable. You can put them on your morning oatmeal, blend them into a smoothie, mix them into yogurt, or just eat them by the handful as a snack. If you're over 60 or caring for an elderly loved one, this information could be life-saving. I truly mean that. Small dietary changes like adding berries to your daily routine can compound over time into significant health benefits. And isn't that worth a handful of blueberries? Number 4. This is the one everyone has heard about, but very few people actually do correctly. It's time to rethink your relationship with salt. Now, let me be clear. I'm not going to tell you that food has to be bland and boring. That's not what this is about. Because honestly, if the food doesn't taste good, you're not going to stick with it. And consistency is everything when it comes to blood pressure. What I am going to tell you is that the average American consumes about 3,400 milligrams of sodium per day. The American Heart Association recommends no more than 2,300 milligrams, and ideally, 1,500 milligrams for most seniors and anyone with high blood pressure. That means most of us are eating more than double what we should be. And here's the sneaky part. Most of that sodium isn't coming from the salt shaker on your table. It's hiding in processed foods, canned soups, deli meats, bread, condiments, frozen meals, and restaurant food. Those convenient, easy-to-prepare foods that many seniors rely on are often absolutely loaded with sodium. So what do? You start becoming a label reader. Flip that can or box over and look at the sodium content. You'll be shocked at what you find. A single can of soup can contain over 1,000 milligrams of sodium. That's almost an entire day's worth in one bowl. But here's where it gets exciting instead of depressing. When you start replacing salt with herbs, spices, and garlic, something amazing happens. Your food doesn't just stay the same, it often tastes better. Fresh garlic and garlic powder are incredible for flavor. And garlic has its own blood pressure lowering properties. A meta-analysis of multiple clinical trials found that garlic supplementation reduced systolic blood pressure by an average of about 5 points. Not bad for something that makes everything taste delicious. Turmeric, cumin, paprika, oregano, basil, rosemary, thyme, black pepper, lemon zest, ginger, the options are endless. Many of these spices also have anti-inflammatory properties, which is a bonus for your overall health. Here's a practical tip that my patients have found incredibly helpful. Make your own seasoning blend. Mix together garlic powder, onion powder, black pepper, paprika, dried oregano, and a tiny pinch of cayenne if you like a little heat. Keep it in a shaker on your table. Use it instead of salt. Within 2 to 3 weeks, your taste buds will actually adjust, and you'll start to notice and appreciate flavors you never tasted before because the salt was drowning them out. Many seniors ignore this because they think, I've been eating this way my whole life, why change now? But here's the truth. It is never too late. Your body responds to dietary changes at every age. Studies have shown that reducing sodium intake can lower blood pressure in seniors within just a few weeks. And one more thing about this. When you cook at home using fresh ingredients and your own seasoning blends, you automatically slash your sodium intake dramatically compared to eating processed or restaurant food. Home cooking is one of the most powerful blood pressure tools you have, and it doesn't have to be complicated. And number 5, this one is so simple, so affordable, and so effective that I almost can't believe more doctors don't talk about it. Start eating oatmeal for breakfast. Oats are one of the most heart-friendly foods on the planet. They contain a specific type of soluble fiber called beta-glucan, which has been extensively studied for its cardiovascular benefits. A review published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that a diet rich in whole-grain oats was associated with significant reductions in both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. The researchers estimated that regular oat consumption could reduce systolic blood pressure by around 4 to 5 points. But that's not all. Beta-glucan also helps lower cholesterol, specifically the bad LDL cholesterol that contributes to plaque buildup in your arteries. So when you eat oatmeal, you're getting a 2-for-1 deal. Lower blood pressure and lower cholesterol. Both of those factors directly reduce your risk of heart attack and stroke. Now, here's the key. I'm talking about real oatmeal. Steel-cut oats are the gold standard. Rolled oats, sometimes called old-fashioned oats, are also excellent. What you want to avoid are those little instant oatmeal packets that come loaded with sugar and artificial flavors. Those can actually work against you because excess sugar contributes to inflammation and weight gain, both of which raise blood pressure. Here's how to make a perfect blood pressure. Lowering breakfast bowl. Cook your oats with water or low-fat milk. Top them with a handful of blueberries, remember, those anthocyanins we talked about. Add a sliced banana for potassium. Sprinkle on some cinnamon, which also has mild blood pressure benefits. And if you like a little sweetness, drizzle just a tiny bit of honey. Look at what you've created. In one single bowl, you've combined oats for fiber and blood pressure reduction, blueberries for anthocyanins and arterial flexibility, banana for potassium, and cinnamon for an extra cardiovascular boost. That's not just breakfast. That's medicine in a bowl. And it takes about 5 to 7 minutes to prepare. That's it. I've had patients who started eating this exact breakfast every morning and saw their blood pressure drop noticeably within a month. Combined with their medication and other lifestyle changes, some of them were eventually able to work with their doctors to reduce their dosages. That's the power of food. Now, before we wrap up, I want to share a few important reminders that tie everything together. First, consistency matters more than perfection. You don't have to overhaul your entire diet overnight. Start with one change. Maybe it's adding berries to your breakfast. Maybe it's trying beet juice twice a week. Maybe it's buying a low-sodium version of your favorite soup. Small steps, taken consistently, lead to big results over time. Second, stay hydrated. Many seniors don't drink enough water, and dehydration can actually make blood pressure harder to control. Aim for 6 to 8 glasses of water a day, unless your doctor has given you different instructions due to a heart or kidney condition. Third, pair these food changes with other healthy habits. A short daily walk, even 15 or 20 minutes, can amplify the blood pressure benefits of a healthy diet. Managing stress through deep breathing, prayer, meditation, or simply spending time with loved ones also makes a difference. Sleep matters too. Poor sleep is a hidden driver of high blood pressure that doesn't get enough attention. And fourth, and this is crucial, keep monitoring your blood pressure at home. A good home blood pressure monitor costs between $30 and $50, and it's one of the best investments you can make in your health. Check your numbers regularly, write them down, and bring that log to your doctor appointments. It gives your doctor invaluable information about how your blood pressure behaves in real life, not just in the office where you might be nervous. Let's quickly recap the 5 easy food-based strategies we covered today. Number 1, boost your potassium with foods like sweet potatoes, bananas, white beans, yogurt, and prunes. Potassium helps your body flush out excess sodium and relaxes your blood vessels. Number 2, add beets to your diet. Whether roasted, juiced, or added to salads, the natural nitrates in beets produce nitric oxide, which opens up your blood vessels and lowers pressure. Number 3, eat a handful of berries every day. The anthocyanins in blueberries, strawberries, and other berries reduce arterial stiffness and support healthy blood pressure. Number 4, swap salt for herbs, spices, and garlic. Become a label reader, cut back on processed foods, cook more at home, and let incredible flavors replace that excess sodium. And number 5, start your mornings with real oatmeal. The beta-glucan fiber in oats lowers both blood pressure and cholesterol, especially when topped with berries and banana. 5 simple changes. No exotic ingredients, no expensive supplements, just real, wholesome food that's available at any grocery store in America. I want to leave you with this thought. You've spent your whole life taking care of other people, your children, your spouse, your parents, your grandchildren. You've worked hard, you've given so much. Now it's time to take care of yourself. And one of the most loving things you can do for yourself and for the people who love you is to nourish your body with foods that protect your heart and keep you healthy for years to come. You are not too old to make a difference in your health. You are not too set in your ways to try something new, and you are absolutely worth the effort. High blood pressure is serious, but it is also manageable, and the fork in your hand is one of the most powerful tools you have. If this video helped you, or if you learned even one new thing today, please hit that subscribe button and tap the bell so you never miss a new video. Share this video with someone you love. Send it to your spouse. Text it to your adult children. Share it in your church group or your community center, because the person who needs to hear this might not find it on their own. but you can put it right in front of them. And tell me in the comments which of these 5 tips are you going to try first, or maybe you already do some of these things. Tell me about your experience. Your story could inspire someone else who's watching. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for caring about your health. And remember, it's never too late to start making choices that your heart will thank you for. Take care of yourself. I'll see you in the next video.